you mentioned mentor. I was wanting to ask if you mentioned mentor earlier on in the conversation. I was wanting to ask if there was anyone who you would consider to be a significant inspiration to you in your life thus far. It sounded like there was. You mentioned the word mentor.
Yeah.
Is there a person or some people you would consider in that light?
So I've always struggled to find a single mentor.
Right.
I found it's just general common understanding in the whole corporate world that having a mentor is good. Someone who you can look up to, who has done well and who can guide you when you have problems. Rather than you just trying to solve it yourself or calling your peers who are on your level with the same problems but haven't gone through it before. I have not been I've never had a mentor at work, an official mentor, but I've looked to people as role models before. And I actually struggled when I was younger to find role models who I aspired to. So I sat down when I was high school or whatever, and I thought, sometimes you get things happen to you or you come up against problems and you think, what should I do?
Right.
And it'd be easier if there was someone you could think about, just like in that Jane Austen's book club, whatever, they go, what would Jane do or something? What would my role model do? But I've never really had a single role model.
Right.
So I've had aspects. So the best I could come up with was aspects of people which I admire.
Right.
And so I look at some people at work and there are aspects of them which I admire, which I think, oh, that's really good. And then I try to learn that. But I guess I still don't really have a mentor, which is.
No, I can.
It's good to have a mentor. They
definitely, yeah. That's something I'm hearing a lot more of these days myself as well, and I'm sort of in the same situation. I don't really have a specific mentor per se, and I think I do something very similar to what you do, where I appreciate aspects of certain people and try to learn that and make that my own. So, I guess if there's no, I guess, direct contact, so a person that you have direct contact with that you wouldn't really call a mentor, is there someone just like in general, like that who you would sort of look at? Could it be a celebrity or anyone? Sort of think, that I really am inspired by what that person is an inspiration to me, or not really. It's just doesn't have to be.
No one comes to mind.
Yep. Has anyone considered coming to you to be their mentor? I guess you being more senior in your role now.
At work, I did this mentor thing where I was a mentor to a person with a disability.
Oh, right.
For a while.
Yep.
So that was good. Good experience. Learned a lot about how to be a mentor.
Right.
And how the mentor-mentee relationship works and all that.
Right. Actually, I heard an interesting thing of late where someone said mentoring and coaching are two very different things.
Oh, yes, totally different.
How would you explain that?
So the mentor-mentee relationship is more, I feel, I don't really know coaching that much.
Right.
I haven't been trained in that.
Yep.
By coaching, I imagine you mean life coaching and whatever else coaching. But the mentor-mentee thing is quite, when I did it, was quite defined. Like as in you are mentor for this reason, and then you sit down and then you upfront discuss what you're trying to get, what they're trying to get from you, what you want from them in terms of time, in terms of expertise, in terms of, outcome or whatever else. So you might say, look, in this mentor-mentee relationship, I expect you to put in the effort to come meet me because I'm the mentor and you should be appreciative of what I'm offering you for my time. I'm willing to give you an hour a week, but because I'm doing that, you make sure that you come and don't, bail on the last minute and that sort of thing. So you set everything up front and said, I'll be willing to help with this, this, and this, with your resume, with this, giving you thoughts. But in turn, I expect, etc.
They say the mentor-mentee thing is ideally should be a two-way thing, where it's not just the mentee gaining something out of it. For you, I would personally sort of probably find that to be a harder sell for the mentor as to what's the mentor going to get out of this.
Yep.
Did you find you got anything out of it?
What I got out of it was learning how to be a better mentor.
Right.
So they give you some training,
Mm-hmm.
And then experience as well helps.
Right.
So that in the future, if I have to mentor someone, I'll be better at it.
Right.
And also they teach you all the best practice, what you should and shouldn't do,
right,
etc.
Right.
Which I found very, very useful.
Okay.
But also a lot of people just like helping other people.
Yes.
Like all the studies show the people who are happiest are the people who help other people. So that, and if you do things for yourself, typically that doesn't lead to that much happiness. So with that sort of thing in mind, you can see that a lot of people would want to mentor other people if they had the time.
So it sounds like you're following another one of those recommendations. So, this is something that you obviously have made a conscious effort to try to help others. So obviously you have that experience, perspective benefit out of it, but
yeah.
Was it more of a self-experiment as well? Did you see how you
so
get
I
out of
needed
it?
to understand, well, I wanted to learn how to do it as well as see if that appealed to me.
Right.
Because if you're going to do something for others, I think it works best if you have an interest in that area,
of course.
plus you have empathy for the people in that area.
Right.
So, I think I found where I would like to do more work.
Okay.
And that's for children who are underprivileged.
Right.
That's where I have the most sympathy.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really good. I think, especially as we get older, that side of things, I think is starting to, have a louder calling.
If you don't, this is what I think anyway. I've been thinking about this for a little while, but if I don't do it now, then I'm never going to do it.
Exactly.
If you don't do it now, when's life going to give you a chance to do something for society? If you've always wanted to do something for society, it's not going to be when you have children. Mm-hmm. Maybe when you retire. Mm-hmm. A lot of people do that, but I'm personally, I would like to do mine earlier.
Exactly. I think I should practice what I preach, but I'm trying to think that, we may think our contribution is not that much, considering how much time we have or don't have.
Yeah.
But I always think, you should do that little bit that you can and start there, because otherwise I think we'll look back and regret it. And by that time much time would have passed.
Yeah.
Is there anything, is that something you've started to look into more in terms of, are you looking at charities and things like that, or at the moment that's something you're sort of thinking about and trying to decide what to do next?
So I'm still thinking about it, but also looking at alternatives.
Right.
So I feel like you can always think about things, but there's no harm in reaching out and actually finding out concretely what is the alternative.
Right.
What can I do?
Right.
And if it doesn't cost that much time, why don't you try it?
Yeah.
Just like the mentoring thing. It doesn't take that much time. Try it.
Give it a shot.
Once you try it, it's often pretty clear if it's for you or not.
Right.
And if it's not, then at least you know it's not.
Yep.
Which is it's good learning to have.
Fantastic. That is, once again, inspirational.